I mean, unless we submit ourselves unto God, we can't resist the devil. And submitting ourselves unto God and receiving the message of the gospel, which is the message of the cross, is this is what Paul is describing in Romans 10, you know? Believing that God raised Jesus from the dead and confessing Jesus Lord, meaning dying to self, surrendering our will and our desire of the flesh, and dying with Jesus in water baptism. I mean, Romans chapter 6, describes it in great detail, but verse 3 and 4 is very clear that as many as were water baptized into Jesus Christ, you know, were died with Christ, were crucified with Christ, as he describes it in Galatians 2:20. He says in verse 4, therefore we're buried with him in water baptism. As 1 Corinthians 15:29 says that, you know, when he's contending with the called out ones at Corinth, he said, if the dead rise not, he says, what are they to do which are baptized for the dead? Because that's what water baptism is for. We're surrendering our will to die to self and to put on Jesus the Christ, to be born of him in water baptism, and then filled with the Spirit of promise to give us power for obedience and to be his witnesses on this earth, to be a light, to be the salt of the earth. You know, as 1 Timothy 2:5 says, there is one God, and there is one mediator between God and man, the man Jesus Christ. And as Jesus said in John 17:3, eternal life is to know the one true God and Jesus whom he sent. In Deuteronomy 6:4, hear, O Israel, Jehovah your God is one Jehovah. There's only one God. And if you're believing in a Trinity, you haven't entered the faith and you're still dead in your sin. You need to know that.